Welcome to the Ask a Poll Politics Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Laslo, based here in Washington, where I hound the nation's lawmakers on your behalf. Thank you so much to all our subscribers, and hey, make sure and give us a like, if you like us, that is. And if you haven't yet, please consider a paid subscription to help this scrappy startup continue changing Washington one interview at a time. And now, here's our latest Ask a Poll exclusive from your U.S. Capitol.
Good, how good?
Living the dream.
Good.
I'm curious how you think the action's going to be in Judiciary and not Oversight come the new year.
Oh, I think it's going to be all over the place. I mean, you know, the assault on the federal workforce and the professional civil service are likely to be headquartered in Oversight.
Yeah.
But the attack on the Justice Department, the FBI, and the rule of law are going to be centered in the Judiciary Committee. So it's like I tell the little kids in soccer, don't bunch, spread out. We need people everywhere, you know, defending constitutional institutions and principles.
And especially when it comes to their focus on the FBI and DOJ, how worried are you by what you, like the rhetoric that's become metastasized almost?
I mean, the problem is that I've not heard of any agenda other than instrumentalizing the Department of Justice and the FBI for purposes of political retaliation and revenge. You know, that's not generally advanced as a proper principle for U.S. government. I mean, and it's a sign of how far the discourse has shifted that this has become normalized.
Yeah. And just like Cash Patel, a name that I didn't even know a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Like, does he worry you particularly?
You know, he's somebody who embodies the ethos of using the government as a partisan and political instrument for the will of the president. Again, that's a massive departure from decades of understanding that the president does not get involved in particular cases.
Yeah.
And we have to try to uphold that traditional understanding as much as we can.
Doesn't it almost feel like they're becoming the rhetoric that they decried?
Bingo.
Like they've become lawfare party.
Well, you know, they have been attacking the Department of Justice for lawfare and for partisan weaponization as preparation for implementing their own plans to do precisely that.
Yeah.
You know, they want to make it seem as if it's somehow normal and bipartisan. It's not. You know, you cannot find an example you really can't find an example of any president, with the potential exception of Richard Nixon, who directed the Department of Justice to engage in criminal investigations and prosecutions targeting his political foes.
Yeah. Now, you're more in the minority as ranking member. How has that changed things? I mean, because it's a lot different than being in the majority. So you'll be playing defense, but you see it as kind of offensive defense?
Well...
Or defensive offense?
Yeah, I mean, I hope that we're going to be advancing a strong vision of what it means to live in a free and democratic society. And that means playing defense against authoritarian maneuvers and violations of people's rights.
Thanks for listening to Ask a Poll, your conduit to Congress. I'm Matt Laslo, offering a hearty thank you to all our supporters out there. Keep feeding us your questions, and we'll keep holding your politicians accountable to you. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe at askapoll.com. We can't do our independent journalism without your support, fam. Cheers.